Hello everyone. I'm sure that this isn't quite what you had in mind for our graduation ceremony. In spite of that, this isn't the time to think about everything that's been canceled. This is a time to celebrate our achievements. We're at Aldenwood High School, and as a class, we've done some pretty amazing things. We've been successful in the classroom, in sports, and in other extracurriculars. We've helped to raise thousands of dollars for the Four Diamonds Fund through our mini-thon every year. The situation we're in right now is far from ideal, but we can't let that bring us down. We've taken on every challenge that's been thrown our way this far, so we can't let this one spoil this amazing milestone for us. Take this time to appreciate all that you've done up to this point, and enjoy our graduation ceremony. Stay safe and healthy, everyone.
On behalf of the class of 2020, I would like to thank all of our parents. Thank you for the constant support and encouragement that you've given us both throughout the years and through this difficult time. Your support and encouragement has pushed us all to do our best and has ultimately gotten us to this point today. Once again, thank you to all of our parents, and thank you for all that you do for us.
Hello, my name is Neil Waldhausen, Treasurer of the Class of 2020. Today, I am privileged to introduce Mr. Andrew Rodensky as our featured speaker. Mr. Rodensky, one of our history department teachers, has always strived to make his students the best they can be and has always been willing to help students in and out of the classroom. Teaching with witty jokes, real-life scenarios, games, and a bunch of accents, his class was always fun. Mr. Rodensky is also an advisor for Model UN, where he continues to share his passion of history to other students. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Andrew Rodensky.
Thank you for inviting me here today to celebrate such a wonderful occasion in each of your lives. Thank you, school board members, administrators, esteemed colleagues, honored guests from our class of 1970, and our class advisors for your commitment to these young men and women. Welcome to our parents, grandparents, friends, and crazy uncles who weren't necessarily invited, but found the link to this speech on Google. Most importantly, welcome to our seniors. It was 15 years ago that I sat in each of your shoes, an Annville Cleona senior, excitedly anticipating this moment. 15 years later, I never thought I'd be giving a speech at a drive-in movie theater. Mom, I finally made it to the big screen. Regardless, I am touched. From 6 feet away, you have bestowed upon me such a great privilege. Writing this speech for today has been a challenge, as there are a few words that can help to ease the disappointment that I'm sure you're all feeling right now. As I reflect upon this past year, I can't help but feel a sense of sadness, knowing that you will never get that chance to walk across the stage in front of a gymnasium full of people, eager to erupt in applause. It's said that hindsight is 20/20, and as your history teacher, I can't help but look back upon your own lives. You were born during 9/11. You're graduating in a global pandemic. Most senior classes have memories that ultimately fade with time, but who will ever forget COVID-19? Some moments, particularly emotional ones, are oftentimes difficult to capture with language. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and although I did not write a picture for you today, and you can thank Mrs. George for that, I did choose another form of art. So here's my poem for the class of 2020. You can't help but feel the sorrow of all it is you've lost, senior prom and prank and skip day, or ski barking like a dog. There are so many memories that were ripped out like a page, your senior game in baseball or your last performance on the stage. A chance to be a tricky Chico, for Senor, that playful Spaniard, and roaming late to every class, or a chance to wear your lanyard. The opportunity to feast at Shady Maple Smorgasbord, a chance to walk at LVC, to celebrate for all you've endured. But what if we stop looking at what it is we've lost and choose to value lessons learned, which never had a cost? The chance to take an extra walk, enjoy hot tea inside your mug, watch dolphins swim into Venice, and give mom that loving hug. A commencement won't define you. It's just a photo op in cap and gown. But lessons learned and lifelong friends are most important deep down. You see, it's often how we look at life. Your high school memories were many. Nothing can ever take that from you. For hindsight's often 20/20. Now, one might traditionally think of your commencement as the end, but the word commencement really means beginning. Hindsight of your senior year may be 20/20, but this commencement is the beginning of your future to create. So how, with 2020 vision, will you go about writing your future? Now, I'd begin by telling you that achieving excellence in life is not something that necessarily happens by accident, but it is the result of repeated, simple, menial tasks done intentionally the right way over and over again. As Aristotle once said, we are what we repeatedly do, and excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. When you think about habits, it's really all about how we approach the little things in life. So, if you want to begin by making your future, I'd encourage you to begin by making your bed. As U.S. Navy Admiral William McRaven remarked, if you make your bed each morning, you will have completed your first task of the day. Menial in nature, this simple task will give you a sense of pride and accomplishment, and it will encourage you to go on to take on your next task, and then another, and then ultimately another. And before you know it, you will have completed a lot of tasks throughout your day. Making your bed also demonstrates the fact that the little things in life matter, because if you can't do the little things the right way, you'll never be able to tackle the big ones. Now, I'd be lying to you if I were to suggest that along the way there will not be journeys, challenges, and obstacles in your life. There will be. But when those bad days do come, at least you're going to come home to a bed that is made. And a made bed gives you encouragement and hope that tomorrow will be better, for tomorrow is another opportunity for you to be excellent. I'll conclude today by suggesting that very few things in life matter more than your own will to succeed. I'd also be remiss if, as your history teacher, I did not include at least one history story. And so I'll start by telling you that the year was 1939. And as Europe raged into World War II, many of Europe's smaller states were caught being forced to decide friend or foe. Where were they going to stand in this conflict? And the same was particularly true in the country of Finland. To their west, Nazi Germany, and to their east, the mighty Soviet Union, both with eyes set on Finnish lands. Now, after Finland had rejected the Soviet Union's treaty for land, an invasion soon followed. 66 times larger, 3 times the number of soldiers, and 100 times as many tanks. The Soviets thought this would be a walk in the park, and any mathematician would tell you the same. Yet what would ultimately become known as the Winter War would not go as the Russians had planned. With just 10 divisions of Finnish soldiers assembling to meet the 500,000 or so Soviet forces, the Finnish people faced a near certain death. Their army did not even possess an anti-tank gun that could combat the hordes of Soviet tanks rolling their way. Yet for more than 100 days, the Finnish people held their ground. Casualties mounted, but not as one would have logically expected. This dedicated force of Finnish fighters had taken out more than 350,000 Soviet troops. So how could this be possible? Undersized, ill-equipped, and on their heels, the Finnish people chose not to look at what it is that they lacked, but what it is that they did have. They would substitute speed for size, intelligence for strength, and heart over all else. The Finnish people call it sisu, a word that very roughly translates into English as being grit, though it embodies so much more than that. It is a word that, for foreigners, it's holistically impossible to really describe, as it is something that ultimately lives deep down inside of us. Tenacity, a stoic determination, resilience, and a willpower to succeed might be words in English that we might use to try and describe what sisu is. It's a mindset. It's what ultimately gave the Finnish people, out of ammunition, an ability to charge at a Russian tank armed only with a Molotov cocktail. And it's what inspired the Finnish people to continue to selflessly serve and volunteer for their country, despite the overwhelming odds, all without complaint. Sisu is trusting that you can accomplish the things in life that you believe to be beyond your mental or physical capacities. And it's what's called upon when a situation of adversity makes you want to complain, tells you to quit, or to just give up. COVID-19 has taken opportunities and experiences from each of you. They're memories that you will never get back. But life will be full of these obstacles, these challenges, these moments of adversity. Maybe an all-day study session in college cramming for that final exam. A sleepless night as a parent. It may be a rejection for a promotion that you felt so deserving of. might even be a night in your own foxhole, for those of you bravely joining our armed forces. Will you choose to give in, complain, and ultimately give up in the face of adversity? Or will you find your sisu? So go on with 2020 vision. What will your habits look like as you begin writing your future and impacting the world? Go on in your own pursuit of excellence. Along the way, take time to serve others. Find the power in forgiveness. Stay humble. Remember your roots. Don't back down from the bullies. Find value in doing the little things the right way. And remember always that few things in life matter more than your own will to succeed. Your school year may have been cut short, but your dreams have not. So go on, find your sisu, and make Annville Cleona proud.
I'll be your bridge for troubled water. When you're down, I will carry you like a bridge for troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl.
Sail on, silver girl.
Sail on
Sail on high.
Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you ever need a
Need a
friend, look
friend.
around, oh sailing light behind. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will ease your mind. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will ease your mind. I'll be your bridge for troubled water. When you're down, I will carry you like a bridge for troubled water. I will lay me down, lay me down.
Welcome parents, guardians, aunts, uncles, grandparents, friends, and graduates. Congratulations, graduating class of 2020. Whenever I hear 2020, I always think hindsight is 2020. There are times that things happen in our lives and we think, wouldn't it be great if we could have seen that coming? We did not have 2020 vision during this pandemic, and no one could have predicted how your senior year would have played out. You are heading into an uncertain future, and you probably have heard people say, our world will not be the same as it was before. Don't let those types of statements deter you from your future. Every graduating class before you and future classes to come have or will find that their futures are uncertain. The world may be different than it was prior to March 13th of 2020, but you are up for the challenge. Some people refer to this year as a reboot of life as we know it. Every class that graduated is no stranger to this statement. As you move into the next phase of your life, you're entering a time of change and uncertainty, a reboot of your life. You are a class of many firsts. You are the first class not to finish your senior year with your friends and peers. You are the first class to not be able to attend your senior prom. You are the first class forced to complete your studies online and not in a classroom. You are the first class to graduate virtually. During this strange and unprecedented times, you have proven that you are a resilient class. Resilience or resiliency is your ability to adapt and bounce back when things don't go as planned. Dr. Cal Crow, an expert in learning connections, states, resilient people have a positive image of the future. That is, they maintain a positive outlook and envision brighter days ahead. Resilient people have solid goals and a desire to achieve those goals. You are a class that is ready for the challenge of the uncertainty of life more so than any class before you. As you move into the next phase of your life, remember that you're going to fail from time to time. It's an inevitable part of living that you will make mistakes and occasionally fall. If you fall down 7 times, get up 8. John Ford once said, failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Always remember that when you have a vision that is strong enough and powerful enough, nothing can stand in your way. Your vision and goals have not changed, but how you accomplish them may be different. Oprah Winfrey just recently stated in a commencement speech, I know you may not feel like it, but you are indeed the chosen class for such a time as this. The class of 2020, you're also a united class, the pandemic class that has the entire world striving to graduate with you. Congratulations, class of 2020. Not only are you graduating, but your parents, your friends, and truly the world is striving to graduate with you. Remember, stay resilient. You were made for this.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you the Salutatorian of the class of 2020, Mr. Noah Shriver.
One's vision is not a roadmap, but a compass. This quote by Peter Block really ties in nicely to this year's commencement theme, 2020, we got vision. If you think about it, over the course of our lives, our minds have been refined and expanded so we are able to carry out our visions and see them to reality. We use this newfound clarity to clearly see the road ahead and to see what actions need to be done so we can accomplish those goals. While we use this vision every day to see what can be in the future, we can also use this vision of ours to look back and learn from the past as well. We have experienced firsthand the rapid change of the world over the last 2 decades and how to adapt to these historic events. We were born into a turbulent time in American history, being born into the immediate aftermath of 9/11. While this was a traumatic event, it catapulted our country into a state of clear vision. For the next 2 decades, our country was put into a state of rapid technological and social change. I remember exactly where I was when I saw an iPhone for the first time. It was like nothing I had ever seen before. I mean, who knew you could play games on your phone? Along with this, the internet wasn't something that we used every day, and I'm sure many of you have memories of what that was like. To learn new information, we had to actually read books. There was no Wikipedia. When you wanted to know something, you had to ask somebody. But now, for instance, if you wanted to know how many people sit on the Jedi Council, you could just Google it. Or you can ask Mr. Gingrich. When something that I believe is very unique to our generation is the meme. Over the years, they have evolved and have affected everyone in some way or another. About a decade ago, we saw the beginning of memes and their quick evolution into something that we all can relate to. From Vine to Gorillas to any given Twitter trend, memes have played a big role in the internet culture and how we interact with each other over the internet in our daily lives. Our generation was caught in the midst of a very rapid change in society. We had to learn to adapt to all of this using the knowledge of our past experiences. We use this to our advantage. We obtain clear vision and see the path forward. We use this vision to improve ourselves and to see the growth that lies ahead for us. Through all of this, it was this clear vision that helped us to maintain focus on the future. I've seen us maintain a clear vision in school as well, staying optimistic and excited for the next day of learning. One of the first big events of our early school days was Japan Day in first grade. Oh, how I remember us challenging one another to a sumo wrestle. I also remember the yearly field day and how it was a highlight for so many. I'm sure many of us also recall the many PAT assemblies in elementary school. There was also the computer labs, which was a favorite spot for many of us, especially on a hot day because it was one of the few rooms that had air conditioning. We took in all these experiences and sharpened our minds and our vision of what the future could behold. Then there was middle school. The transition from elementary to middle school was a big and very eye-opening to many of us. It was so fresh to be in a new building with new teachers and new classes to take. Most importantly, however, the school lunch was better and had more variety than that of the elementaries. The pizza at the elementary and the pizza at the high school just don't compare. All of these different aspects allowed us to experience the world from a different angle, one that we had not previously been exposed to. It allowed us to further refine ourselves and our vision to get ready for what was to come. As we grew older, high school started to shape our minds into what we wanted for our futures. FFA, TSA competitions, musical and band adjudications, math competitions, thon, and community service work all gave us opportunities that started to give us a clear vision into our own futures. And now we have our own choices for classes. For example, Spanish, Java, child development, ceramics, and various gym classes to name a few. Oh, and there was also Mr. Kreiser's infamous pre-calc class, which showed some of us that maybe math wasn't exactly our strongest subject. By being exposed to these various courses, though, it allowed us to discover what our interests are and what we might want to do beyond high school. In all of these classes, we had to interpret the situation dealt to us and use clear vision to take advantage of it and continue moving forward. Throughout our short but very eventful lives, much change has happened in technology and society. And we see new changes happening all around us with how we face COVID-19. As we move forward, we must use these current and past experiences to sharpen our vision as we move into the future. Do not let something like a coronavirus hinder you from accomplishing your goals. So, what are you going to create for yourself that is going to get you out of bed every morning and make you excited for what the future looks like? Whatever this may be, don't lose sight of it and don't let others distract you from what you want your life to be. Believe in yourself and use your 2020 vision to do everything that will possibly make it a reality. Congratulations, class of 2020.
It is my honor to present to you Annville Cleona, class of 2020 valedictorian, Miss Leah Krall.
Good evening, parents, teachers, students, and the Annville Cleona class of 2020. It is truly an honor to speak to all of you tonight. Winston Churchill said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." No group displays this courage to face the good, the bad, and even the unexpected better than this year's senior class. As Noah already explained, tonight's theme is 2020 Future Vision, but our current situation makes the future seem anything but clear. This affects no one more than the senior class, as we are already entering a new and often confusing time of our life. But you have all shown incredible perseverance over our last 13 years of schooling, and I know that not even the coronavirus can prevent us from having our own 2020 vision. An important part of our 2020 vision is how we have treated one another, especially when times are tough. This class is made up of compassionate and kind individuals who have pushed themselves to make a positive impact on our school and community. It is not always easy to be kind, especially in today's world. We live in a time when it is easy to get away with bullying and putting one another down, on social media and in real life. It's easier not to care about what's happening in the community, to turn a blind eye to groups that need our help or families in need of support. But the seniors graduating tonight are not the people to take the easy road. Members of the class of 2020 were seen helping with community service projects like organizing AC's Minithon, placing and removing American flags on veterans' graves, educating elementary schoolers about the importance of agriculture, and helping with countless other organizations outside of the school. It would be easier just to stop caring and lash out at one another, especially now. We've all seen the same viral videos on social media and on the news of people yelling at each other, fighting over wearing masks, and even spitting in one another's faces, not to mention the unending nasty comments that come along with these videos. I know it is much easier to fight than to listen, easier to be stubborn than accepting. But we have the courage to be better. Be better at accepting one another for who we are and what we believe in. Be better at not judging one another for our choices. Be better at working together to solve problems instead of fighting over them. In the future, I see the class of 2020 showing the kindness and compassion we have learned at Annville Cleona to be better to all people in our lives. Not only do the members of the class of 2020 have the courage to be compassionate, but they also have the courage to be inventive. For the past 4 years, I have been constantly amazed as members of my class achieved wondrous feats again and again. I found myself in awe over the amount of hard work and dedication the senior class was willing to put into their studies and extracurriculars. It is difficult to put yourself and your work in front of others. Presenting a research paper you spent hours on, playing in a concert, displaying your artwork, or competing on a team all force you to disclose the amount of hard work that you've done. You are now open to criticism, whether it is positive or hurtful. But we have always had the courage to work hard throughout high school, and we will continue to do so throughout our lives. Some of the seniors graduating tonight will become the lawmakers that keep our country free, and scientists that make beautiful new discoveries. Others will become teachers that educate the next generation, and farmers who supply our world with food. We have the courage and the strength that will drive our generation into a new world of health and peace. None of us would be who we are today without the guidance of the amazing teachers and staff in the Annville Cleona School District who have helped to focus our 2020 vision. I believe I speak on behalf of the entire class when I say thank you to every elementary, middle, and high school teacher, along with guidance counselors, secretaries, custodians, kitchen staff, coaches, and every other person who has touched the lives of the senior class. While the education we have received over the past 13 years is important, not every graduating senior will need to know how to find the derivative of a polynomial, that the mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell, or how to use a gerund in a sentence. What we will use every day are the skills of courage, compassion, and dedication that have been instilled in us. Ralph Waldo Emerson is quoted as saying, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us." To the seniors graduating today, I challenge you to take the courage that lies inside you and use it every day. No matter what adversity you face, I know you have the strength to get through it. As I look into the future, one thing is clear to me. We have the courage to change the world. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Congratulations to each of you on your perseverance and dedication to completing a monumental accomplishment that began well before you could understand exactly what you were embarking upon. While it may have ended prematurely, you all pressed on and gave your best effort. Thank you to your parents, siblings, extended family members, and friends who have been there to support you during this accomplishment and who believe in you as you continue your journey. In an effort not to state every aphorism that comes to mind considering this year's 2020 vision and also the events from recent months, I will focus on this one from Sophocles. There is no success without hardship. It is okay for you to feel sadness as you move into a new chapter when the last chapter didn't end the way you had hoped. Just know that it is not the end of a book, but rather a plot twist that you will overcome and look back on with amazement that it even happened. You are stronger than you know, and you will get through this. Oftentimes, it is the hardships that we experience that we learn the most from. My hope for all of you is that through this unprecedented time, you've learned how important your friends and family are. They will be the people who lift you up when you're feeling down, so treat them with respect and kindness. You've also hopefully learned that dwelling on what could have been is unproductive. But by changing your mindset to be more positive, the world is full of possibilities. Finally, I hope that you've learned that while you can work hard and plan your next steps, sometimes in life it's unpredictable, and the skills of adapting and being flexible to new ways of achieving your goals is what's most important. And as you move on through this pandemic, I implore you to not look back at what could have been, but to have the vision to pursue all of your goals. We are all very proud of you. Good luck in achieving all that you set your mind to accomplish, and know that you are Dutchman strong. And now with that, School Board President, Ms. Seeby, it is my sincere honor that I present to you the Annville Cleona Class of 2020, and can attest and affirm that they have met or exceeded all of the requirements of both the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Annville Cleona School District, and are worthy of the diplomas about to be presented to them.
Greetings, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. It's truly an honor to address you on a day that represents an important milestone in your lives, and I'm so proud of each of you for making it to this final point. I don't think any of us would have thought that we would be here conducting a virtual graduation commencement for the class of 2020. We all wish that it could have been a regular commencement, but I have no doubt that this group of students has risen to all the challenges that they have faced these past few months. Remember, you are all unstoppable. You entered this world during the era of 9/11, when the world was shaken in a similar fashion to what we have experienced these past few months. You didn't wait to start doing amazing things with your life then, and now is just another milestone where each of you will show how unstoppable you are in attaining your goals. Each of you are strong and will do amazing things as you move on to the next stage of your life. You can all achieve anything you set out to do. Do not look at the past few months with sadness on what you may have missed, but look at them on how you have grown and rose to the occasion that was presented in front of you. Each of you are unbreakable. Graduating during a pandemic is historic, and each of you have been put to the test during these past few months. You have shown determination to persevere during changing times, and you have shown remarkable patience in dealing with all the uncertainties that the future holds. Keep in mind that as you go out into the world, whether it be continuing your education, joining the armed forces, or starting a trade that you have developed, use this experience to show the world that you won't be stopped and you will succeed. As individuals in the class of 2020, you are all undefinable. This class has made history and will never be forgotten. You were all made for greatness. Nothing is out of reach for each of you. Remember, you can do anything that you set your minds out to do and make a difference in this world. Remember to be kind, to help one another, and be there for each other. You are not defined by the circumstances that have occurred these past months. You will rise up and do great things and make us all proud of what you will accomplish. And with that, by the authority granted to me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Annville Cleona Board of School Directors, I accept this class and certify them as graduates of Annville Cleona High School.
Corey Boyer, Class President.
Morgan Austin Bauer, Class Vice President.
Grayson Lorraine Kreider, Class Secretary.
Cornelius Anton Waldhausen, Class Treasurer.
Leah Rose Krall, Valedictorian.
Noah C. Shriver, Salutatorian.
Keon Allen,
Gavin Allwine.
Amber Marie Altland.
Madeline Louise Balmer.
Ariana Bellick.
Sarah Benish.
Anthony Betts.
Cameron Bogan.
Jaron David Baumgardner.
Dante Bonilla.
Jeremy Boers Jr.
Amber Marie Boyd.
Emily Elizabeth Brightbill.
Elizabeth J. Britton.
Rachel Lynn Campbell.
Xavier Carpenter.
Austin Castle.
Dana Phyllis Clements.
Stephen College.
Owen Matthew Connor.
Bradley M. Cons.
Destiny Ashanti Cruz.
Daniel Davies.
Brianna Davis.
Emily Sue Dove.
Mackenzie Taylor Drain.
Sarah Nicole Erickson.
Noah David Fogelsanger.
Cameron Scott Freeman.
Caden Freeman.
Emily Kate Ginder.
Dakota Graham.
Dakota Lee Grumbine.
Jessica Marie Gudekunst.
Omar Harby.
Elena Louise Harrell.
Evan V. Heilman.
Mackenzie Elizabeth Hernley.
Kylie Ann Hershey.
Caden Horning.
Elena Hostetter.
Alex Hostetter.
Madison Claire Houston.
Carissa Joy Hauer.
Matthew Dawson Inman.
Seth Andrew Jameson.
Griselda Jimenez Gomez.
Jessica A. Kielholtz.
Dalton Allen Keller.
Zoe Kirkesner.
McKenna Klein.
Gavin Knox.
Eve Noel Crick.
Romain Lafeneur.
Raymond Leskowski.
Bethany Leah Lippy.
Ian Timothy Lively.
Adam Lee Long.
Andrew Long.
Tyler Long.
Dion M. Lopez.
Tyler Daniel Matthias.
Brooklyn Meese.
Adriel Reese Dattario Merjudio.
Juliana Meyer,
Cyrith Barron Mitchell,
Ashton Moyer,
Katrina Nye,
Matthew Joseph Peiske,
Quamir Parker,
Michael Eugene Pavasco,
Cassandra Pennycoff,
Zechariah Phelps,
Morgan Pluck,
Trevor Joseph Porsche,
Marissa Bell Reich,
Alex Reppert,
Dylan Shear,
Callie Rayanne Schwenk,
Reagan Lily Sellers,
Declan Shaughnessy,
Connor Lee Smith,
Noah Riley Spencer,
Joshua David Spiro,
Sean Matthew Springer,
Julianne M. Strickler,
Elena Mackenzie Swartz,
Mason G. Swigert,
Demetrios P. Sinifius,
Daniel J. Tobias,
Romeo Marcus Varela,
Miranda Sky Weber,
Benjamin Coleman Wickheiser,
Alexis Stephanie Williams,
Lucas William Winslow,
Mason C. Winters,
Jasmine Wood,
Joshua D. Wood.
We raise our voices to the sky in deep humility, for all that we have come to know the truth that sets men free. We dare not look behind us, the future's ours to possess, for all we are, we owe to thee, our dear ACHS.
As we come to a close to start the next chapter in our lives, I would like to remind you all that we have always been a class to do things differently. And in the end, it would be an understatement to say that this was an unforgettable senior year. Like it or not, it is what it is, and now it's your turn to make the most of it. Through the good and the bad, we have always stuck with it and finished strong. No matter what is next for all of us, I would like to thank everyone that has helped us get here and give the best of wishes to all those in the class of 2020.